Nikola Jokić. Jokić doesn't dominate with athleticism, he dominates with mind. A two-time MVP and NBA champion, Jokić is arguably the smartest offensive player in the league, and he does it all from the center position. He's a passing savant. Whether it's a one-handed whip, a touch pass, or a no-look lob, Jokić sees the floor like a point guard. His scoring is efficient and unorthodox floaters, post fades, mid-range jumpers. He's unbothered by speed or pressure. The game slows down when he touches the ball. Off the court, laid back. On the court, a machine. The Nuggets revolve around him, and when he's locked in, there's nobody quite like him in basketball history. 2. Giannis Antetokounmpo. They call him the Greek freak, but it's more than freakish athleticism. Giannis is built like a superhero, 7 feet tall, with the agility of a guard and the force of a freight train. He doesn't just attack, he overwhelms. Transition buckets? Almost automatic. Euro steps, spin moves, and sheer physicality carve open defenses like paper, but it's his growth that defines him. He came into the league raw, a lanky teenager from Greece. And now, he's a two-time MVP, a champion, a finals MVP, and a leader who brought Milwaukee its first title in 50 years. Giannis is more than muscle. He's disciplined, loyal, and all heart. His humility off the court makes his dominance on it even more special. He didn't need a super team. He built one. His way. 3. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander SGA doesn't shout. He whispers and then hits you with 30. Smooth, under control, almost surgical. Shai moves like he's in a different rhythm than the rest of the league. He doesn't blow by defenders, he glides past them. Every step is calculated. Long strides, hesitations, mid-range pull-ups with butter-soft touch. He gets to his spots, lives at the line, and keeps his turnovers low. And now, he's turned OKC from a rebuilding squad to a legit threat in the West, all while being one of the most efficient high-volume scorers in basketball. No theatrics, no trash talk, just buckets and leadership. Shai's game is old school in the best way, fundamentals first, flash only when necessary. 4. Luka Dončić. Luka plays like he's seen the play 3 seconds before you have. At 6'7", 230 pounds, Luka controls the game like a symphony. His pace is deliberate, not slow, just purposeful. He uses his body like a shield, fakes with his eyes, and delivers passes that leave defenders frozen. Step-back threes, cross-court skips, low-post fades. There's nothing he can't do with the ball in his hands. He's averaged near triple-doubles while carrying the Mavericks into deep playoff runs. He doesn't just score, he creates. Every offensive possession flows through him. Every game, he adds something new, and he's only 25. Luka isn't just the future, he's the present, and the West knows it. 5. LeBron James. He's not just a player, he's an era. LeBron James has played in more NBA seasons than some of his competitors have been alive. Yet he remains elite, a 4-time MVP, 4-time champion, all-time leading scorer, and still producing in his 40s. His game is mind over matter. He sees plays before they unfold. He knows every defensive scheme. He adapts, adjusts, and elevates. Whether it's a pinpoint bounce pass, a chase down block, or a clutch step back 3, LeBron still delivers. He's been the face of the NBA for 2 decades, a mix of power, IQ, and leadership that may never be matched. The King's reign isn't over. 6. Anthony Davis, the defensive pillar. When healthy, AD is a force of nature. At 6'10" with a 7'6" wingspan and guard-like agility, Davis can cover the court like few others. He blocks shots with timing, not just size. He switches onto guards without blinking. On offense, he's polished post-ups, mid-range jumpers, rim runs. He was the Lakers' defensive anchor in their 2020 title run and one of the best two-way players when locked in. Injuries have slowed him, but his ceiling remains sky-high. When Davis is engaged, he alters everything. Your game plan, your paint touches, your title hopes. 7. Kevin Durant. There's never been a scorer like KD, 7 feet tall, a handle like a guard, a release point nobody can touch. Durant doesn't find space, he creates it. Pull up from 30, easy. Turnaround fade with a hand in his face, cash. KD isn't just a scorer, he's a killer. 2-time champion, 2-time finals MVP, Olympic gold medalist. He can blend into a system or take over completely. Defensively, he's long, smart, and disruptive, especially as a help defender. But what defines him is shot making. Pure, unfiltered, efficient, quiet by nature, but when the game's on the line, deadly. 8. Stephen Curry. Steph changed everything. Before him, the three-point line was a tool. After him, it's a weapon. Curry's range broke defensive logic. His off-ball movement tires entire teams. His gravity warps space. But he's not just a shooter. He's a magician with the ball, an elite finisher, and the heart of the Warriors dynasty. 2 MVPs, 4 rings, 1 revolution. He's fun, he's feared, and he's far from done. No player made the game more exciting or more impossible to defend. 9. Victor Wembanyama. Wemby isn't just a unicorn, he's something new entirely. 7'4", with an 8-foot wingspan, a 3-point stroke, guard handles, rim protection that looks like CGI, and he's just 20. He led the NBA in blocks as a rookie, averaged over 20 points, made plays nobody's ever seen before, defensive recoveries, coast-to-coast dunks, fadeaways at his height. He's not just potential, he's a producer, and as his body matures, so will his dominance. We've never seen this before, and we may never see it again. 10. Jayson Tatum. If you were building a modern NBA wing in a lab, it'd look like Jayson Tatum, 6'8", elite footwork, picture-perfect shooting form, and the ability to defend 1 through 4. He's led Boston deep into the playoffs year after year already with an NBA Finals appearance under his belt. He's clean, smooth, and efficient. His mid-post game, deadly. His three-point shot, reliable. And his ability to create plays has steadily improved. Some critics say he lacks the killer edge, but his production speaks volumes. He's not loud, he's lethal, and his MVP moment is coming. 11. Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is what happens when power meets skill and neither backs down. He led the NBA in scoring in back-to-back seasons, including a dominant 33 PPG in his MVP year. He's got the full offensive arsenal: turnaround jumpers, bully ball post-ups, face-ups, and a feathery mid-range. He even stretches out to the three-point line. But it's not just the numbers, it's the attitude. Embiid plays with edge, with personality. He talks, flexes, stares you down, and then drops 40 on you. On defense, he's a true anchor, a shot blocker, paint enforcer, and vocal leader. His health in the playoffs has been the only thing holding him back. But when Embiid is locked in and mobile, he's nearly impossible to stop. 12. Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was never supposed to be the guy. Undersized, drafted in the second round. But fast forward a few years, and he's the heartbeat of the Knicks. A surgical point guard who punishes defenders with footwork, patience, and sheer IQ. Brunson isn't flashy, he's fundamentally elite. Floaters, post-ups, mid-range step-backs, he's methodical and precise. He doesn't waste motion, he doesn't waste time. He's also clutch. Ask any Knicks fan about his playoff performances. And with his leadership, New York finally has a star to believe in. Brunson is proof that toughness, control, and intelligence still win in today's NBA. 13. Kyrie Irving. Nobody, and we mean nobody, handles the ball like Kyrie. His crossover is poetry. His finishes are gravity-defying. His footwork in traffic is ballet. Kyrie doesn't just play basketball, he performs it. But don't mistake flair for fluff. He hit one of the most iconic shots in finals history, a dagger 3 over Steph Curry to win the 2016 title. He's a champion, an 8X All-Star, and still one of the most skilled offensive players ever. Kyrie can score 40 without breaking a sweat. He can disappear into a crowd and emerge at the rim with a reverse layup. Off-court narratives follow him, but between the lines, pure magic. 14. Donovan Mitchell. Explosive, quick, ruthless. Donovan Mitchell is a bucket waiting to happen. He can rise for dunks, pull up from deep, or split double teams like they're traffic cones. Since joining the league, Spida has been one of the most consistent 25-plus PPG scorers, and his 71-point game in 2023 reminded the world of what he's capable of. In Cleveland, he's added new layers: better passing, stronger defense, and smarter shot selection. And when the playoffs arrive, he flips a switch. Mitchell's next step is team success, but individual greatness, it's already undeniable. 15. Anthony Edwards. Swagger, skill, star power. Anthony Edwards has it all and he knows it. From rim-rocking dunks to step-back threes, Ant plays like he's been a superstar for years. And at just 23, he's already proven he belongs in the top tier. Defensively, he's no slouch. His work in the 2023 FIBA World Cup turned heads. He took the challenge, guarded the best, and brought the energy. In the playoffs, he raised his game, dropping 30, 40, even carrying Minnesota when needed. He's not afraid of the moment. In fact, he wants it. Ant isn't waiting for the future, he's seizing it. 16. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is built like a linebacker, moves like a guard, and scores like a star. He's fast, he's strong, he's fearless in the lane, and has a reliable outside shot. At his best, Brown is a downhill force who can drop 25-30 on any given night while guarding your best wing. Critics point to his handle, but he's still one of the most productive two-way wings in the league. He attacks mismatches, runs in transition, and plays with consistent effort. Alongside Tatum, he's helped make Boston a perennial contender, and he's not just a sidekick, he's a problem all by himself. 17. Jimmy Butler. There's regular season Jimmy, and then there's playoff Jimmy. In the playoffs, Butler transforms. He's tougher, sharper, and more intense. He's taken Heat squads with no business reaching the finals and willed them there with heart, hustle, and heroics. He hits dagger mid-range shots, takes the best assignment defensively, leads with raw emotion and unshakable calm. He doesn't back down. He welcomes the challenge. No moment is too big, no stage too bright. When it's win or go home, you want Jimmy Butler on your side. 18. Zion Williamson. Zion defies physics. He's 285 pounds of raw explosion. His second jump is quicker than most players' first. Near the rim, he's nearly unstoppable, shooting over 60% with most of his shots coming inside. He's a walking highlight. Windmill dunks, impossible finishes, and coast-to-coast bursts that feel unreal for his size. The only enemy? Health. Injuries have kept him from hitting full stride. But when he does play, he's a 25-plus PPG force with all-NBA upside. If Zion can stay healthy for a full season, the league's in trouble. 19. Damian Lillard. Few players are as cold-blooded as Dame. From 37-foot game winners to 60-point nights, Damian Lillard has built a reputation as one of the most clutch scorers in NBA history. His deep threes aren't heat checks, they're normal. He carried Portland for years, made the All-Star team 8 times, stayed loyal, stayed committed. But now, in Milwaukee, he's chasing something bigger, a championship. He's still explosive, still deadly in isolation, still the player you fear when the clock hits 0. When it's Dame time, it's already too late. 20. LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball was born for the spotlight, but he brings real substance with the style. He's got deep range, daring passes, a unique pace that throws defenders off. He plays loose but never lazy, seeing angles that others don't. At 6'7", he can play point or wing, grab rebounds, and push tempo like a blur. He makes the Hornets fun no small feat and gives them a future to believe in. Injuries have slowed his ascent, but when healthy, he's electric, a walking highlight, and his best days are ahead of him. 21. Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis is a 7'3" offensive weapon who looks like he was designed in a lab. He entered the league with massive hype, dubbed the Unicorn by Kevin Durant, and for good reason. How many guys that tall can shoot the three, move like a wing, and protect the rim? But Porzingis' journey hasn't been smooth. After flashes of stardom in New York, injuries, and an awkward stint in Dallas left fans wondering if he'd ever live up to his potential. Fast forward to Boston, and he's finally found the perfect role. On the Celtics, he doesn't have to carry the offense. Instead, he punishes mismatches, stretches the floor, and blocks shots like a true anchor. He's shooting over 37% from deep and averaging near career-high efficiency, with the added bonus of staying healthy. The Celtics aren't asking him to be a savior, just a supercharged third option. And in that role, Kristaps has never looked better. The unicorn isn't just back, he's evolved. 22. Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is proof that old dogs can learn new tricks. In his early days with the Brooklyn Nets, he was a classic back-to-the-basket big man. 0 threes, 0 rim protection reputation, just low-post footwork and soft touch. Now, he's a completely different player and one of the most valuable centers in the league. With the Bucks, Lopez became a stretch 5 who can knock down triples and lead the NBA in blocks. He's the foundation of Milwaukee's elite defense, giving Giannis the freedom to roam and help. Defensively, he's a wall in the paint. Offensively, he keeps defenders honest with that corner 3. He's aged like fine wine, turning himself into a modern NBA blueprint for longevity. He's not flashy, but ask any coach, Brook Lopez is a winning player. 23. Derrick White. If you ask most casual fans who the Celtics' third best player is, they might guess incorrectly. But insiders know, it's Derrick White. He's not loud, he's not flashy, but he is always in the right spot, always contesting shots, always making the smart play. White is an elite point of attack defender, and he can guard multiple positions. He'll chase your favorite guard around screens all night, then turn around and hit a clutch corner 3 or float a runner over a center in crunch time. He's the kind of guy who fills every stat sheet with quiet value. Blocks from behind, deflections, offensive rebounds, hockey assists. You won't find Derrick White on many highlight reels, but you will find him on winning teams. 24. Draymond Green. Draymond Green might be the most polarizing player in the NBA, but love him or hate him, his resume speaks loud. 4-time NBA champion, Defensive Player of the Year, and the beating heart of one of the greatest dynasties in league history. He doesn't put up points, and he doesn't care. Draymond is about impact, leadership, and defense. His ability to guard 1 through 5, quarterback the defense, and initiate offense makes him one of the smartest players of his generation. His presence on the court is undeniable. Watch a Warriors game. When he's out, the team looks scattered. When he's in, everything flows. Of course, there's the other side. The ejections, the suspensions, the outbursts. But that fire is also what fuels his greatness. Draymond's legacy is already secure, and it's bigger than the box score. 25. Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren looked like a question mark coming into the league. He was tall, skinny, and didn't play a single game in his rookie year due to injury. But after watching him finally debut, it's clear, Chet is a problem. At 7 feet tall with a 7'6" wingspan, Chet anchors the Thunder defense with elite shot-blocking instincts. But he's not just a rim protector. He can also space the floor, handle the ball in transition, and make quick reads like a guard. He plays with a quiet edge. No fear, no hesitation. His timing on both ends is already elite. Playing next to Shai and Giddey, he doesn't need to dominate the ball to make an impact. If he stays healthy, the Thunder have a superstar in the making. 26. Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet's journey is pure inspiration. Undrafted, undersized, overlooked. And now, an NBA champion, an all-star, and one of the most respected guards in the league. He made his name in Toronto as a lockdown defender and fearless shooter, hitting massive shots during the Raptors' 2019 title run. Now with Houston, he's become the team's veteran leader, helping guide a young core through a rebuild. VanVleet is the kind of player who controls the tempo, gets teammates involved, and still gets his own buckets. He's not flashy, but he's tough, clutch, and one of the smartest guards in the NBA. Never bet against someone with a chip on their shoulder, especially if his name is Fred VanVleet. 27. Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey looks like a 6'8" point guard from the future. With elite court vision and flashy passes, he sees the floor like a veteran. At just 21 years old, he's already one of the best passers in the NBA. But Giddey is more than a highlight reel machine. He rebounds well for his position, cuts without the ball, and plays with poise beyond his years. In OKC's young core, he's the connector, turning broken plays into buckets. He's still working on the jumper, but everything else is ahead of schedule. If the shot comes around, Giddey might be a walking triple-double machine. Don't sleep on the Aussies. Josh Giddey is the real deal. 28. Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. looks like the kind of player you'd build in 2K. 6'10", silky smooth jumper, high release point, and confidence for days. Injuries held him back early in his career, but now healthy, MPJ is a perfect third option for the Denver Nuggets. With Jokić and Jamal Murray drawing attention, Porter punishes defenses with catch-and-shoot threes and quick drives. Defensively, he's improved every year, learning how to use his length without fouling. But make no mistake, his bread and butter is offense. When he gets hot, there's almost no one harder to guard, and he knows it. Confidence is never a problem for MPJ. 29. Tyler Herro. Tyler Herro plays like a mixtape. From the moment he hit that step-back three in the 2020 playoffs, fans knew this guy has style. But he's more than just swagger. Herro's scoring ability is legitimate. Floaters, fadeaways, deep threes. He's a three-level scorer who can heat up in a hurry, and every season he's added something new. Better passing, more control, and stronger defense. Critics once called him streaky. Now he's consistent. Herro may not be a traditional point guard or a volume star, but on the right night, he can take over a game. And in Miami, they love that energy. 30. RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett entered the league with big expectations. The third overall pick, Canadian prodigy, Duke star. And while his rise hasn't been meteoric, it's been steady. Barrett is a physical wing who thrives in transition and attacks the rim with power. He's not the flashiest shooter, but he's improved every year, particularly as a defender and finisher. In New York, he showed he could be a key piece of a playoff team. Now in Toronto, he's playing with new freedom and responsibility. RJ isn't trying to be a superstar overnight. He's grinding, improving, and earning his role as one of Canada's top basketball exports. 1. Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero is a matchup nightmare in the making. At 6'10" and 250 pounds, he has the ball handling and fluidity of a guard, but the size of a dominant forward. What separates him isn't just skill, it's poise. He never looks rushed. He plays with a mature calm, dissecting defenders with fakes, footwork, and finishes. As a rookie, he averaged 20 points a game and carried himself like a seasoned vet. He can create off the bounce, pull up from mid-range, and power through contact. Defensively, he's developing, but his size and timing already show promise. Orlando's young core looks exciting, but Paolo, he's the centerpiece. A future multiple-time all-star in the making. 2. Devin Booker is the kind of scorer that doesn't need space to get a clean look. His footwork, balance, and soft touch make him a mid-range assassin. But what truly elevates him is how he's evolved. Once labeled a good stats bad team player, he proved himself in the playoffs, dropping 40-point games, making clutch buckets, and leading Phoenix to the finals. He's not just a shooting guard, he's a full-on offensive engine. He can initiate plays, hit off the dribble threes, and has grown as a passer. Off the court, he's reserved. On the court, ruthless. And with a growing bag and proven leadership, Booker's in the prime of his stardom, and he's not done climbing. 3. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard doesn't smile much. He doesn't talk trash. He doesn't celebrate after dunks, but his game, cold-blooded. At his best, he's a top 5 player in the world, a two-way menace who can clamp your best scorer and then drop 30 on the other end with machine-like efficiency. His mid-range is unguardable, his hands are the size of dinner plates, and his patience with the ball is elite. He's won 2 Finals MVPs with 2 different franchises, and in 2019, he dragged the Raptors to a title with one of the greatest postseason runs ever. Injuries have slowed his consistency, but even now, when he's on the court, Kawhi is still one of the scariest matchups in the league. A cyborg with a jump shot. 4. Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is like a jazz musician playing point guard, smooth, controlled, and never rushed. He's 6 feet 6 inches with vision, strength, and a knack for manipulating defenders. Even on a rebuilding Pistons team, he plays with a veteran's presence. His ability to run an offense, hit step backs, and find teammates in tight windows makes him the clear future of Detroit basketball. Injuries have slowed his rise, but make no mistake, when healthy, Cade has all-star written all over him. He's a culture setter, a guy you build around. With a more balanced roster and better health, expect Cade to make noise, and soon. 5. James Harden. James Harden redefined NBA offense in the 2010s. The step-back 3, the endless free throws, the insane usage rates. But even more than scoring, Harden is a master of control. His pick-and-roll timing is clinical, his passing is next level, and his ability to get defenders off balance has made him one of the most unguardable players ever. Now in his mid-30s, his scoring has dipped, but his impact hasn't. He still drops 20 to 10 with ease, still breaks down defenses, and still orchestrates games like a maestro. Criticized for playoff shortcomings, praised for regular season brilliance, Harden remains a complex figure. But there's no debate. He's one of the most influential offensive players of the modern era. 6. Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is a unicorn in sneakers, a 7-footer who can shoot like a guard, drive like a forward, and rebound like a center. His offensive talent is undeniable, whether it's pick and pop threes, post fades, or face-up drives. Few bigs have his touch and versatility, but what makes Cat special is his ability to space the floor and still be a 20 and 10 machine. Defense is the biggest knock on his game, and at times his impact wavers under pressure, but his raw skill, elite. In Minnesota's Twin Tower setup with Gobert, he stretches the defense, giving the Timberwolves a unique look. With maturity and consistency, he still has another level to reach. 7. Trae Young. Trae Young plays like a mix of a street hooper and a seasoned vet. His confidence is sky high, his handle is tight, and his range starts the moment he crosses half court. What makes him special isn't just the deep threes or flashy passes, it's his control. Trae dictates tempo, manipulates defenses, and consistently ranks among league leaders in both scoring and assists. Yes, defense is a liability, but offensively, he's an engine. In the 2021 playoffs, he took the Hawks to the conference finals, silencing crowds and showing he's built for the moment. Love him or hate him, you have to respect the impact. 8. Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese. Maxey is one of the fastest guards in the league. His speed with the ball is a weapon, but it's the control and balance that make him special. He doesn't just run fast, he finishes, stops on a dime, and pulls up with confidence. Maxey has gone from energetic bench scorer to Philly's co-star. His shooting has improved dramatically, and he's fearless in big moments. He feeds off energy, attacks relentlessly, and keeps defenders guessing. With Harden gone, Maxey has the green light, and he's proving he can be a foundational piece for the 76ers. Dokuzunchu Alperen Şengün. Alperen Şengün is fun. He's creative, patient, and unorthodox. Watching him play feels like time traveling to a different era. He lives in the post but thinks like a point guard. Behind-the-back passes, drop steps, no-look dimes. Şengün's feel for the game is rare, especially for a big. His footwork is advanced, his timing is elite, and he's quickly becoming Houston's offensive hub. Defense is still a work in progress, but his IQ and instincts hint at growth. If he keeps this trajectory, Şengün will be one of the most unique stars in the league. 10. Ja Morant. Ja Morant doesn't play basketball, he detonates on it. His burst, body control, and bounce make him one of the most electrifying players of this era. He gets to the rim like a heat-seeking missile and finishes with flair, aggression, and fearlessness. But he's not just a dunker. Ja is a playmaker, a floor general, and the emotional core of the Grizzlies. He thrives in chaos and lives for the big moment. Off-court issues have stalled his ascent, but on the court, he's already a superstar. When Ja is locked in, few players can match his impact or intensity. 11th. Paul George. Paul George makes basketball look elegant. His shot mechanics are clean, his movements are fluid, and his defense is suffocating. PG is one of the league's best two-way wings when healthy. He can guard your best scorer, then hit a fadeaway three over a hand in his face. Injuries have prevented him from stringing together dominant seasons, but his skill set remains elite. He's a multiple-time All-Star, Olympic gold medalist, and a key piece of any championship-caliber team. When George finds rhythm, he becomes unguardable. 12th, Domantas Sabonis, the triple-double hub. Sabonis is a relentless worker and one of the best passing bigs in the game. He sets brutal screens, dominates the glass, and facilitates from the elbow like a point forward. In Sacramento, he's the engine that keeps the offense humming. He leads by example, never takes a play off, and constantly makes smart reads. Sabonis might not be flashy, but he's consistent, efficient, and reliable. A nightly double-double threat with a team-first mentality. 13. De'Aaron Fox. The clutch King Fox is speed personified. Blink and he's at the rim. But he's not just a blur, he's a tactician. His mid-range has improved, his three-point shot is more consistent, and he's become one of the most dangerous closers in the league. Fox led the NBA in clutch scoring in 2023, often carrying Sacramento in tight moments. He's aggressive, fearless, and now more efficient than ever. With playoff experience under his belt, Fox is entering his prime as one of the league's top point guards. 14. Bam Adebayo, the versatile wall. Bam Adebayo is a modern big man with an old-school mentality. He'll switch onto guards, protect the rim, run dribble handoffs, and still drop 20 if needed. He's the heart of Miami's defense and a key part of their offensive flow. Bam plays bigger than his size, and his agility allows the Heat to run switch-heavy schemes. He's an all-defensive team regular and has shown growth as a playmaker. In big moments, Bam anchors Miami's identity. 15. Pascal Siakam, the whirlwind. Siakam never stops moving. He's a blur in transition, a problem in the half court, and a menace on defense. His spin move is signature, but his all-around game keeps evolving. Siakam has added a respectable jumper, become a better playmaker, and consistently defends at a high level. He's a champion, a two-time All-Star, and Toronto's offensive focal point. With energy, length, and skill, Siakam embodies the modern forward. 16. Evan Mobley, the defensive prodigy. Mobley is what every team wants in a modern big: mobility, length, and instincts. He blocks shots without fouling, recovers quickly, and switches onto guards with ease. Offensively, he's developing a mid-range game and improving as a passer. Cleveland's defense leans heavily on him, and his impact already rivals veteran defenders. With strength and skill catching up to his IQ, Mobley could be Defensive Player of the Year soon. 17. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, the Swiss Army knife. Jalen Williams does a little bit of everything, and he does it well. He defends, scores, cuts, passes, and brings maturity beyond his years. At 6 feet 6 inches with a long wingspan, he can guard multiple positions and create mismatches. In OKC's rising core, J-Dub has emerged as a do-it-all wing who makes winning plays. He's not loud, but he's effective. The kind of player every contender needs. 18. Scottie Barnes, the connector. Scottie Barnes is a bundle of energy and versatility. He can push in transition, guard 1 through 5, and initiate the offense from the forward spot. His rookie year showed flashes of stardom, and he's continued to grow. The jumper is still inconsistent, but the playmaking, defense, and motor are elite. Barnes is the type of player who stuffs the stat sheet and controls the game without needing 30 shots. 19th, Jaren Jackson Jr., JJJJ, the shot-blocking stretch. JJJ led the league in blocks and made it look easy. His timing, length, and help-side defense are elite. Offensively, he can stretch the floor, post up smaller defenders, and finish lobs. Foul trouble is still an issue, but his overall impact is massive. As Memphis's defensive anchor and a growing offensive threat, JJJ's value is rising. 20. Tyrese Haliburton, the cerebral floor general. Haliburton sees the game in slow motion. His unorthodox shot goes in. His passes are timely and precise. He controls the pace, elevates teammates, and leads with joy. In Indiana, he's blossomed into an all-star, and his combination of IQ, efficiency, and creativity makes him one of the best young point guards in the league. Haliburton is a franchise floor general with superstar vision. Yirmibirinci Alperen Şengün. Alperen Şengün plays like a time traveler. In a league full of high-flying dunks and step-back threes, Şengün brings post spins, no-look passes, and soft touch around the rim. He's only in his early 20s, but his footwork and feel for the game are elite. Standing at 6 feet 10 inches, Şengün is already the offensive hub for the Rockets, initiating plays from the elbow, running pick and rolls, and surprising defenders with crafty Euro-style fakes. And don't let the babyface fool you. This guy cooks. His passing has drawn comparisons to Jokić, and while he's not that level yet, the vision is real. He's becoming the kind of big man you can build a system around. 22nd, Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner doesn't scream for attention, but his game speaks volumes. At 6'10", he's a smooth scorer who glides into buckets, can defend multiple positions, and rarely makes mistakes. What makes Franz dangerous is how quietly he dominates. He doesn't need the ball for 10 seconds. One dribble, one read, one perfect play. He's efficient, crafty, and lethal in transition. Pair that with high IQ defense and growing confidence, and you've got a future all-star in Orlando. The Magic have a deep young core, but Wagner might just be the most complete player among them. Wiederschimpft Trečias Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas is a throwback. In an NBA full of stretch fives and small ball centers, he's still doing work the old-fashioned way, punishing defenders in the post, crashing the boards, and setting monster screens. He's one of the strongest players in the league, and his rebounding numbers reflect it. JV also added a reliable three-point shot to stay modern, but make no mistake, he's a bruiser at heart. In New Orleans, he gives Zion room to roam while holding down the paint. Reliable, tough, and consistent. He may not trend on Twitter, but coaches love him. 24th, Jerami Grant. Jerami Grant has quietly become one of the most reliable forwards in the league. After stints in Oklahoma City and Denver, he bet on himself in Detroit and proved he could carry a scoring load. Now with Portland, Grant balances scoring with elite defense. He's long, mobile, and can guard 4 positions. On offense, he's comfortable slashing, spotting up, or posting up smaller defenders. He's the kind of player that every playoff team wants. Switchable, smart, and low maintenance. Jerami doesn't need the spotlight, he just shows up and delivers. 25th, Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon is nicknamed the President for a reason. He's poised, deliberate, and never rattled. But behind that calm exterior is a killer competitor. He won Rookie of the Year as a second-round pick, then became a key starter in Milwaukee, Indiana, and Boston. His ability to run the offense, knock down threes, and defend bigger guards makes him a Swiss Army knife at the point. Now in Portland, he's mentoring young players while still dropping 15-5-5 nights. If basketball had a class valedictorian, it would be Malcolm Brogdon. 26. Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane is one of the most physically unique guards in the league. He's 6 feet 5 inches, jacked like a safety, and has one of the smoothest shooting strokes in the NBA. Playing next to Ja Morant in Memphis, Bane has thrived as a secondary scorer, hitting over 40% from deep, while also driving to the rim with power. What sets Bane apart is consistency. He doesn't just have hot nights, he is the offense on some nights. And defensively, he's tough, disciplined, and never backs down. Bane might not have the flash of Ja, but in terms of impact, he's right there. 27th. Miles Turner. Miles Turner has led the league in blocks and still doesn't get enough credit. At 6'11", he's one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. But what makes him special? He can shoot too. Turner is a rare two-way big who doesn't clog the lane. He spaces the floor with his pick-and-pop jumper while anchoring the defense in the paint. He's had trade rumors hanging over him for years, but through it all, he's just kept improving. In Indiana, he's now showing leadership on top of production. Turner isn't flashy, but he's a model of modern big man versatility. 28th, Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is a walking heat check. 1 second, he's drilling a 30-footer off the dribble. The next, he's turning it over with a wild behind-the-back pass. But when he's hot, he's electric. Poole played a huge role in the Warriors' 2022 championship run, bringing scoring off the bench and fearless energy. But after being traded to Washington, he struggled with consistency. Still, the raw talent is there. If he locks in and simplifies his game, he could become a 20-plus PPG scorer again. Poole is chaotic, but chaos can be beautiful when it's under control. 29th, D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell has one of the smoothest games in the league. Lefty pull-up, floater, no-look dime. He's pure skill, but consistency has always been the issue. Russell made an all-star team in Brooklyn, bounced through Golden State and Minnesota, and now plays a supporting role with the Lakers. When he's locked in, he can take over quarters with tough shot-making and flashy passes, but when he's cold, he fades. Still, Russell remains a starting caliber point guard with tons of flair. And on the right night, he can look like a star. 30. OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby doesn't talk much, but his defense screams. He's one of the best wing defenders in basketball, capable of shutting down all-stars on a nightly basis. On offense, he's a steady 3-and-D threat who's added more ball handling and finishing each year. With the Raptors, he quietly grew into a 17-point-per-game scorer. In New York, he's embraced a more focused role: defend, rebound, and hit timely shots. His value doesn't always show up in highlights, but watch the matchups. Coaches love him. Opponents hate him. OG doesn't need volume. He just needs matchups, and he usually wins them.